applications. As you can see, we are today talking about Copilot in Outlook, and we are going to focus on the functionalities that it has when it comes to summaries of, say, email threads, or in general, what kind of capabilities it has, generically speaking, on keeping you up to date and how it can be used. So right away, we have two different options to access Copilot. We have Copilot on the left-hand side next to the calendar and the inbox. And we also have the more dominant Copilot on the right-hand side in the top right corner with a drop-down menu where if I click on the icon, I get the usual Copilot check that we know and love. But if I use the drop-down, I can start chatting as I just described it with him, obviously. But I can also immediately jumpstart the process of drafting a new email to whomever I need to talk to, or go into the settings for Outlook regarding Copilot in order to change the way it is interacted, or maybe deactivate it if I don't want to use it anymore. So right away, let's open the chat on the side. We have, as you can see, a couple of options. We have Copilot for work and Copilot for web, depending on how you want to use it. And if I go on one of the emails or even an email thread, you will see on the drop-down menu that I have a couple of more contextualized options. I can still go into the chat that we just had open a second ago, or I can jumpstart and immediately reply to what we see over here in terms of the email that I have received. I can jumpstart the process of getting a summary of the entire email thread over here, or I can access other Copilots to whichever Copilot I have another license, which here would be the sales and the service Copilot, or maybe in the future also the finance Copilot. Depending on what you have, you can also obviously access those Copilots in the top ribbon if you so have included them. When it comes to the summary, you can also get a summary right from the top of the email if you have Copilot activated, in order to not have to jump to the right-hand side and get it open and ask it to do so. But you can immediately use this small little button over here that will just summarize the thread and give you a rundown on what has been happening and what you might have missed. Let me just close this real quick because I do want to demonstrate how you can use Copilot in order to get a summary right now, or just get up to date very briefly. If I need more space, I can get that for myself, obviously. And let's start talking to it right away. You see there is a couple of suggestions over here in German. That is not an issue, right? I have it generally set on English, but since I'm in a German-speaking environment and I might have used it already today, speaking German, even though it is set in English, it might have remembered that and keep the suggestions German. So let's just start talking to it in English, and then it would switch automatically also what we want to see and need to know, which is right now, what is new with Samantha? So what is new with Samantha is very generically speaking, right? I do have a conversation over here with a Samantha, but obviously she has another name, which is Hayes, but I might not have remembered that, or might have been lazy, just to give him a little bit of a challenge. It is set on work, however, so it will get my work or inbox context rather than going on a web search on whatever Samantha I might find over there. And immediately I get a quick rundown of the email activity that I have missed, which is likely this one over here. Files and documents that could be useful for another instance of continuing the talks with them. And I do see that there have not been any recent team messages. However, there might be a need to schedule a meeting. So let's see where this goes. This is a good start. I have an overview of what I might have missed. I can jump to the email that is missing and further ask Copilot to summarize it or draft a response right from over here. But let's say I want to go into the emails and now do a summary. Let's use this button over here. It will give us a very nice immediate summary. We can ask Copilot further questions about the thread, but I can also use the chat over here in order to get a summary. So let's do this because it will be more thorough because of the space. If me a summary of the email thread with Samantha Hayes. Because the automatic summary that we have at the top bar is useful in order to get a quick reminder of what generally is going on, the gist of it. But over here, we really get details. We get the sources that we so like and the key information in a structured and overseeable manner that is very useful to me, and I can that can jumpstart the process of continuing this this venture that I'm trying to have with Samantha, this sale that I want to close with her, into more productive stages, right? I can draft the final quote that I said I would get her. It tells me what I have also sent her or what I've done already, and suggests next steps, and also summarizing things that I have shared with her. So if you're in a situation where you have been on vacation, you might have hundreds and hundreds of mails waiting for you, but there is one specific conversation that you need to get ahead of. Copilot really is a good way of getting you that piece of information with this functionality and get on top of things. The other Copilot over here is the one that you know and love, like the generic Microsoft 365 Copilot surface with agents and conversations that you have already know.